Right, let's just confirm the two teams for you. England, first of all, obviously very keen for the top order to assert themselves and get some runs. Stewart and Knight in particular, that's the opening partnership that's under pressure. And all three of the all-rounders, if you like, playing in Wells, Hollyoake, Flintoff, and I suppose we ought to include Elam in that bracket as well. As for Essex, well, remember they're the Benson and Hedges Cup winners, cup holders from last year, and apart from Rollins, pretty much at full strength. Right, we're going to join it now then by picking it up in the first over. It's Cowan bowling to Alex Stewart, and in the commentary box, Bob Willis with Michael Holding.
Ashley Cowan went on England's last tour to the West Indies. Didn't play a test match. Cowan to Stewart. There's problems with the running between the wickets. I'm pretty convinced, Michael, a direct hit there would have seen the back of Nick Knight.
Yes, I think so. Again, here Alex Stewart takes about 2 or 3 paces and then says no. Nick Knight has responded early and he would have been out by a distance. Look here, you see Alex Stewart taking a few paces. There he goes. Then he says no. Well, Nick Knight has to respond when he takes those few steps.
Easily played away on the leg side. A long chase for Irani's past outfield at Chelmsford. And that's 4 runs. A poor delivery from Ashley Cowan. And the ball just creeping off this surface, although it was a pitch short.
No problems there for Alex Stewart. No real pace. Ball didn't bounce very high. Just over the waist. Comfortably away.
Another fruitful chase for Ronnie Irani. And a very poor first over from Ashley Cowan.
Not as short as the previous delivery, but still too short. He's looking to try and get these deliveries to go away from the right-hander, Ashley Cowan. And that ball certainly did hit the seam and go towards the slip cordon, but it was much too short.
Stewart rehearsing his straight bat strokes. Most of his runs this morning have come with cross-batted strokes, those 2 boundaries from Ashley Cowan. 2 problems with his feet movement. We saw that movement go completely haywire on the last tour of South Africa. Well, that could have crept through and dislodged the leg bail. Luckily for Stewart, it didn't.
Mark Ireland's persisting with these deliveries that come into the right hand and away from the left-hander. So the delivery seemed to be going towards the slip cordon originally.
Very good stop indeed. Stephen Peters, one of the heroes of England under-19's World Cup success in South Africa. I have a lot of time for Peters as a batsman. I'd like to see him batting high up the order for Essex.
We usually see umpires being very harsh on deliveries down the leg side, but I think umpire Dave Orchard thought that this was very close to leg stump, and I certainly agree with him. Leg stump just exposed there. Definitely not a wide. That was pretty close. South Africa now living in Australia.
That's a magnificent stroke. Stewart is showing better form today.
Excellent shot. Beautifully timed. just a bit too much room there given by Mark Eilert. Alex Stewart, quick to seize the opportunity, short, wide, got what it deserved. Very good shot, well timed.
Terrific effort by Mark Eilert. That's saved Essex a couple of runs.
Something that we see a lot of in this limited over game these days, diving around in the outfield. Certainly saves a lot of runs.
Well, that's superb bowling. Knight did pretty well to edge it, actually. It was a very well taken catch by Stuart Law in the slips. And Mark Eilert strikes for the home team.
I think this was definitely on the cards. Mark Eilert has been getting the ball to go away from the left-hander. And there we can see Nick Knight again closing the face of that bat, looking to play the ball towards the onside, and the edge taken. Right, Mark Eilert is very happy with that. It was an excellent delivery and just reward. It's 26 to 1.
Graham Hick comes out to join his skipper. 26 for 1 in England. Just one ball of the 7th over left to bowl. Nick Knight falling to a very good catch by Stuart Law. It was always heading in his direction. He just clutched it before it hit the turf.
Over 50, and he has gone. Seemed to bounce a bit, squared him up. Quite straightforward. I thought I'd come off the thigh pad at first because the pace it went to slip. So Graham Hick was on his way. Seemed to bounce and square him up here. Goes, just looking to play it. We're down to about mid-on and the simplest of catches.
Well, the slip catches go, yes, just where you want them. Straight in at waist height, and as you say, it opened him up. Just did enough, I think, that ball to make life hard for Graham Hick, and when you're first at the crease, that's the sort of delivery you don't really want. So Graham Hick on his way very quickly without scoring. England 27 for 2. Graham Thorpe is at the crease, replacing Graham Hick. Hick gone for naught. Graham Thorpe, though, has been in good form this summer and made 55 for England against Canterbury 2 days ago and looked in very good touch there. Thank you, Moore. Now, this dismissal of Graham Hicks, just a little bit of movement.
Yeah, it just holds up. I suppose we were saying just off the air now while you're on the break that it was a typical sort of third ball dismissal. Just feeling for the ball, it's just held up a little bit, perhaps bounced a touch more than he was expecting. But Stuart Law, with his easier catches, he'll get all summer at second slip.
That's close. That looks very close. Kenny Palmer decides there's just an element of doubt somewhere.
Well, I might have been a little disappointed if I'd been bowling, I think, to have this given. It looked right to me. It seemed to come in. Graham Thorpe half forward. And hard to see what that's missing, isn't it?
Well, unless there was just a little faint inside edge, then that seemed to have done just about everything it needed to. Right arm over the wicket, pitching on, just straightening. Well, he's a little way down, I suppose, and you're guessing maybe is the bounce, but Graham Thorpe, not a very tall man.
Well, I think the only thing that saved him is, as you say, possibly the bounce.
A thin nick through to the keeper. Again, just that little bit of movement away from the bat. And Mark Eilert, who's been concentrating especially on getting the ball to come back into the right-hander, has removed the England captain, Alex Stewart, with another good delivery.
Yes, it really goes across him, doesn't it? Stewart's been struggling a little bit with his form this season. Started to play a little better there, but again, probably not the foot movement he'd want. He's gone for 18 off 31 deliveries. In England now, you have to say, in a little bit of trouble here, 29 for 3.
I've just got the feeling here, Ian, that, as you say, it's a good enough pitch, no doubt about that. That's just been angled across him. No great movement. I suppose on a pitch that helps the bowler more, it'd have probably done a bit more and missed the bat, but just enough to take the edge. That's his one-day international career, the average of 21. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Doesn't try to hit it hard, he's just pushed it through, timed it rather nicely. Ronnie Irani does the chasing. And Andrew Flintoff is off the mark.
Well, tensions made quite clear to the 6 bowlers. Not trying to smash it. There we go. Spot on there. He said that. He just wanted to feel the ball on the bat. Pushed it through the offside. 3 runs.
That's a better shot, a firmer shot. And that should be 4 runs. Nicely played again.
This one just a little fuller than the ball he pushed through. 3 runs. This is more in the half volley area. Just hits it, not quite a half volley, on the up slightly, but again, not trying to hit it too hard, but excellent timing.
42 for 3. Thorpe is on 3. Flintoff on 8. Thumped straight and very effectively by Andrew Flintoff. Full face of the bat on that one.
The interesting thing with this is that I don't think he decides till very late that he's going to hit it for 4 or attempt to. It's almost a punch shot, thinking about it, and then last minute, bottom hand comes in and gives it a little nudge down the ground.
And always willing to play shots. That's a wide, which brings up the England 50 in the 15th over. Pleasant stroke by Graham Thorpe, just caressing it away through the covers. He picks up his first boundary.
The shot by Graham Thorpe was very good. Good position with the front foot, just leant into the shot, nice straight bat. And the full face of the bat going straight through the line between mid-off and extra cover. Great shot.
Well, he's gone this time. Half forward, Andrew Flintoff, and Ronnie Irani celebrates. And England in all kinds of trouble here against relatively modest county opposition. They're 4 down now for 59.
And this ball from Ronnie Irani fairly full, fairly straightish. Andrew Flintoff's gone well forward. Ball struck in front of middle and leg. And the umpire judges him out. Andrew Flintoff walks off the ground for 15 with the England score on 59 for 4.
Well, Adam Hollyoak at Canterbury only had time for a quick slog. He's got a much more meaningful innings to play today. Comes in with England on 59 for 4. Beautiful shot. Pleasant straight drive through mid-off.
It's a very good shot by Graham Thorpe. Not a bad ball by Peter Such, but Thorpe knows he struck that ball well. Maybe that mid-off to Peter Such there's just a fraction too wide. Should be a little bit straighter, and his short mid-wicket perhaps come a little bit straighter as well.
Another superb off drive from Thorpe. Well, from what I've seen of this England squad so far, Graham Thorpe is definitely in the best nick of any of the England players.
Listen, another very good shot, good seam up there from Ronnie Irani, but the full face of the bat going through the shot there. Once again, beating mid-off extra cover, good foot position, good balance.
It's turn there for Such. It's beaten batsman and keeper and rolls gently away for 4 byes.
England scorecard. Cleverly played. We'll look for 2 and get them. That's me just to reflect on this morning's play. As we speak, Peter Such's economy rate is under 3, it's 2.86. Ronnie Irani, who's bowling at the other end, his economy rate this morning is 6 overs at 2.33 runs per over. That's helped away over the infield, that's chipped over mid-wicket, that's 4 runs. Nice piece of timing from Adam Hollyoake, and a welcome boundary for England.
Hollyoake deciding that staying inside the crease is not going to be too fruitful. He has decided to use his feet. So it's a good shot. Cowan looking to try to get the ball to go away from the right-hander. Didn't swing or seam.
Just withdrawing the bat as that ball moves away from him. That was the first boundary for about 5 overs. That's a measure of the restraint imposed by Irani and Such. Good shot. That's firmly played, firmly and beautifully placed. Just slightly overpitched from Ashley Cowan, swinging in. Fine shot.
When the bowlers are getting this much help from the pitch, you have got to make sure that you take full advantage of these slightly overpitched deliveries.
The 100 comes up in the 27th over for England. They've appealed and they've got the decision. Just a very thin edge from Adam Hollyoake. I think that bears out the point that Michael Holding was making not so long ago about the variations in bounce on this pitch. It looks a very weak dismissal, but the ball was short enough outside the off stump to have a go at, and instead of runs, it was the edge.
That ball certainly deserved to bounce a lot higher than it did. It was short, it was wide of off stump, and you can see there again the ball dying on the way through to wicketkeeper Hyam.
That's just cleared extra cover. And Mark Eilert tied us up. Sorry, Paul Grayson ties us up on the long off boundary. Both left-arm throwers.
Again, Thorpe playing this on length. Slightly overpitched again, giving him the opportunity to hit over the top. Very strong arm, Grayson.
Worth a shout. No result for Peter Such. It's just that little bit of turn, and well, it's very, very close. I don't think it was missing. It's just a question of whether or not the pad had got an inch outside off stump. And yet another maiden. That's his 3rd maiden in 7 overs. England 106 for 5. Ball just a little bit wider from Ashley Cowan. Thorpe just leans into the ball, opens the face and runs the ball just wide of Gully. That's who's saying the Gully there.
Yes, the width that allows him to get his arms free. Pretty much out the middle of the bat. Races away. That's what saying can do nothing. Backward point, so very reasonably fair to say that no one would have, or very few fielders would have got a hand to that. That's in the air. I don't know if it's going to carry. Oh, Stuart Law almost looks as if he didn't pick it up, John.
Well, he looks like he misjudged it, and so did Graham Thorpe. Didn't quite get there, followed through. I don't think he actually meant to hit it in that position. Just turned a little bit, he's opened the face, took the bottom hand off the bat. Fortunately for him, he hasn't quite timed it. Stuart Law totally misjudged that, let the ball bounce just in front of him. Good unorthodoxy there by Graham Thorpe. And picks up 4 runs.
Good shot. You see Graham Thorpe attempt very often this work today. It's one for the reverse lap. All outside off stump. And making contact. The secret to making contact is he doesn't try to hit it too hard, he's just used the pace on the ball. And that's Graham Thorpe's 50. It's 4. He's something of 50 for England. And very much needed today.
That's a great shot coming down the wicket, attacking Irani. Ball through wide mid-on for 4. Just chancing their arm a little bit. They realise they need to get a total in the region of 220, 230 to be competitive and put pressure on this Essex side.
Good old-fashioned club, isn't it, down the wicket.
That's out. That's a poor shot, just chipping the ball to mid-wicket to Nasser Hussain. And didn't quite get over the ball, just went into it, but getting through the ball just a little bit too early here.
Yes, it's a soft dismissal, isn't it? You feel that they tried to the outrageous reverse hoik, and then comes down the wicket and just flicks it, doesn't it? It's a nothing shot.
Well, he hasn't got his hands through the ball. He's actually flicked it with his wrist. He's gone through, but the bat, he hasn't gone through, and it's just a flick of the wrist. Instead of hitting through straighter, he's hitting against the spin as well. So he's known he's got to put a bit more work on the ball, but he should really have been hitting that ball much straighter. And Vince Wells at 8, and the England total 143 for 6.
That's a good shot. Beautifully timed again.
7 boundaries now for Graham Thorpe. Any hint of width and Thorpe's onto it like a flash. That's beaten the short fine leg and will run away for 4. Always positive when he comes into bat, Mark Elam. He's on to 6 from just 7 balls faced. 10 overs left now for England.
And even in the 41st over, a man who is there on 61 is struggling to put bat on ball.
Thorpe not quite sure about the length. He's opted for a backward stroke, but then very nearly follows that to give the keeper an edge. Mark Ilott very interested in events behind Elam, but nobody else. What about that? Thorpe looking to play a reverse stroke. I think Law saw that premeditation. And David Orchard signals no ball because of the height of the ball. And poor Barry Hyam makes another hash of it behind the stumps. Wide of Hyam and will run away for 4. That's frustration for Essex and Stuart Law. Elam records his 2nd boundary. He's moved quickly on to 20.
You say it's frustration for Stuart Law, but that's not necessarily a very good delivery. If you haven't got a slip in place, you don't give the batsman a drive for the outside edge.
Slow ball from Law, well timed by Thorpe. Ilott can't cut it off. 4 more. 8 boundaries for Graham Thorpe now. It's a better over for England. 15 runs coming off the over.
He's hit that very hard. That's 4 runs. Only a few yards away from Ronnie Irani. Mark Eilert trying to get the Yorker in. It was just another low pull toss, but with enough room created by the footwork to go for 4. And the 200 comes up for England.
Right on cue. Talk about it, and Mark Elam does it.
That's going straight down to long off. Hasn't quite carried. Good running from Mark Elam. Makes that a comfortable 2.
Well, he's trying hard to get it over the ropes. And that's right off the bottom of the bat. Such attempting to get underneath it, but it's always going to be 4 or 5 yards short. Well, you've got some percentage. He's got to hit one in a minute. A bowl full of length, much harder to get away. It's the length ball that the batsmen are looking for now. It's the one that they feel they can get onto. They have options then. They can go straight down the ground. They can drag it over the mid-wicket area. Or as Mark Elam quite often does, he likes to come inside it and go more extra cover. So the one ball that they don't want to bowl is length.
Two more here.
I told him, Ronnie, I can't do no more.
That's well placed. 4 runs. That was the shot he was looking for in the previous over, and he was given the opportunity there by Ronnie Irani.
Well, it's the length, isn't it? It's a length ball. Graham Thorpe has options. He chooses the heave over mid-wicket, cow corner, whatever you want to call it. But it's effective. It's 4 runs.
Yes, it's the time of the innings where no one really wants to bowl. It needs a bit of experience, it needs a little bit of luck, to be honest. It's a constant guessing game as to what the batsman's going to try and do. You've really got to keep your eyes on the batsman. The previous delivery, Graham Thorpe's footwork took him back on the crease and made what would have been a foolish delivery into a length ball. Looking for long off again. Peter Such is there and takes the catch. Well, again, it didn't come right out of the meat of the bat. And Peter Such had to make 5 or 6 yards in, get underneath it, and took a good catch.
Yeah, just hung in the air a little longer, this one. Again, though, Graham Thorpe not managing to find the middle of the bat. It didn't really go anyway. He's having a look there himself. But it's been a terrific effort from the Surrey left-hander. 88, sorry. And there you go, look at this, you can hear the noise tells you it's from about the middle of the bat. But Peter Such has still got to catch this, he does well. It's there, takes it quite low to the ground. And that brings to an end. Fine innings, 88 from 125 deliveries. It's now 210 for 7.
Grayson again, and well, that gives them the chance. Didn't quite judge the bounce properly at long off, and once the batsman saw the fumble, then that confirms the fact they're going to come back for 2. Full toss, hit straight, and the innings finishes off with yet another 2. England scoring 74 runs off the last 10 overs to put themselves into a position now from which they can win this match. But it's
still remains, I think, an interesting contest.
Well, it was a good recovery, wasn't it, by England? 229 for 7. They got lots of runs in the last 10, 74, I think, and really was another top knock by Graham Thorpe. 88, and a good effort by Mark Elam down at the bottom there. 37 not out. The top order that's the worry, though. Let's have a quick look at the bowling figures. 2 for 46 for Eilert, 2 for 41 for Cowan, and 2 for 45 for Irani. Those three bowled their seamers pretty well. Such 0 for 22 off 10 overs. Very tight, very economical. Maybe there is going to be a place to spin in this World Cup. All of the Essex innings, it's Fraser to Hussain.
Bowling to England colleague Nasser Hussain, who gets off the mark from his very first ball. Run rate of just over 4.5 an over required. 230 the target for Essex. Stewart's got two slips alongside him, Graham Thorpe and Graham Hick. As usual, when Alex Stewart's in charge, a very orthodox field. Magnificent stroke from Paul Pritchard. Fraser over pitching and paying the price.
Angus Fraser here over pitching, giving Paul Pritchard width. One thing you don't do to Paul Pritchard is bowl short of the length or over pitch and give him width. He's a very good driver.
It's going to be Ian Austin from the Hayes close end. He won't be taking the new ball much in the World Cup, I don't suppose. Economy rate of just under 5 for England in one-day internationals. That economy rate is much lower for Lancashire.
Very good ball, good seam. Seam just angled towards the slips. Ball's just swung a bit in the air and a little bit of movement off the wicket. Very good ball. Very good ball to Nasser Hussain, was trying to whip that ball through the onside. That was a great shot from Nasser Hussain. A bit over pitch from Angus Fraser. Nasser Hussain just leant into the shot, full face. Hits the ball inside the right hand of mid-off. Beautiful shot, comes up on it, but what a lovely shot.
It's driven, it's 4 more runs. They cover out there on the offside. Angus Fraser just not quite able to get it right, Mikey.
Certainly hasn't been his usual economical best, Angus Fraser. This is just the first delivery in his 5th over, and again over pitching. 24 runs already scored. 4 boundaries. That is not what you usually get or expect from Angus Fraser.
Excellent. That was on its way to the boundary again. Andrew Flintoff diving very well.
Angus Fraser again straying a bit here. In line on this occasion, not the length, but excellent fielding. But there very quickly.
Good shout, but I think probably a little high.
Excellent delivery from Ian Austin. He has been swinging the ball away from the right-hander on most occasions. This one has gone in the other direction.
Fraser into Paul Pritchard. Nicely worked away through the onside. Nicely timed. It's Flintoff who's after it. And he's got a very good arm. Now you're going to have to hurry. That's a very good throw. Angus Fraser takes the bails off. It's close.
Let's have a look at this. Paul Pritchard's the man. Essex got off to a pretty good start. Now this is going to be tight. Angus Fraser gathers it, takes it, and I think that's gone. He's out. And a decision that the umpire could never give on his own, with the aid of the third umpire. He makes the decision, and Paul Pritchard has gone.
Stuart Law, the new batsman, of course. This brings in the overseas pro for Essex.
That's beautifully played. Stuart Law this time. A little bit on the up. Just waited for it. And a beautiful way to bring up the 50 for Essex. That might just carry all the way, coming down towards the commentary boxes. Not a particularly long boundary, it wasn't quite out of the screws, but it's 6 runs. It seems the crowd are in total agreement with Dave Orchard. This is a good strike by Stuart Law. Using his feet to come down the wicket, attacking Mark Elam. Hits him on the up, good shot. Wasn't anywhere near the pitch of the ball, but decides to go through with a shot.
Straying onto leg stump again. That'll bisect fine leg and deep square leg. It brings the 100 up. And Flintoff proving expensive. Fine leg is wide. Croft can't cut it off. And Nasser Hussain brings up 50. It's good news for Essex. Two will bring up Stuart Law's 50. 50 for Law off just 55 balls.
Very powerfully struck. No need for anyone to run for that. That's going to clash into the wall there below the sponsor's tent. Lovely shot to bring up the 100 partnership.
Well, Nasser Hussain's pretty strong in this area. It's there to be hit. He played one shot very similar to that in the last over. It was brilliantly stopped by Nick Knight, but there's absolutely nothing he can do about this. Well, that's heave-hoed, and that could well be the end of, I think it's Angus Fraser under it. And Stuart Law trying to mow that away over, I think, long on. Top edges it. Mark Elam gets a vital breakthrough for England. Angus Fraser taking the catch. But perhaps not the most elegant of ways to get out.
No, indeed. I think Stuart Law was eyeing up that long-on boundary again, realised straight away that he'd miscued it. Angus Fraser came across to take the catch safely enough. And he and the rest of the inside will be hoping that the dismissal of Stuart Law might just trigger some sort of collapse now. But Essex well placed. They're 155 for 2. Ronnie Irani comes in at 4. Oh, good catch. Lovely catch from Alex Stewart. That's the end of Irani. Second quick wicket for England might just change things round a bit.
Just look to be playing this, to me, a little bit on the onside. Bottom hand taking over, back coming down a bit of an angle. And the rest, a fine catch. Bottom hand just taking over there. Alex Stewart doing the rest behind the stumps. That's a good catch. It never got very high, always low to the ground, to his right. But he made the ground and took it very well. Exactly what England needed. Now, even if there was a loser's game, they can push Essex all the way now. Ronnie Irani's gone for 4. Essex 160 for 3.
World Cup Centre is sponsored by Scrumpy Jack.
Tim Walton is the new batsman. In his first season here at Essex, having made the trip down from Northants. Oh, he's got him, first ball. Good delivery too. Just swinging back in, just that little bit of movement that defeated the shot. And it seemed that Tim Walton had got nowhere.
He also looked a little late on it. It was his first ball, but he ended up going forward or back. He might have got a little inside edge on it, but it nipped back. And that caused the inside edge onto leg stump. And suddenly, game on.
Well, that's it. Tim Walton gone without scoring. 160 for 3, one ball later becomes 160 for 4.
Catch it.
4 runs, just over the top though of mid-on. Graham Hick couldn't stretch quite far enough.
It's a good bit of timing. He was a little closer to Graham Hick than Paul Grayson would have liked. But it just couldn't get there.
One left.
It's up and over, backward point. That'll race into the fence for 4.
Holyoke just giving his ball a bit of width. Nasser Hussain doesn't mind it there, just clearing gully. Nick Knight, but a very good shot. An area where he plays particularly well. He's very strong in that area. And there's a wicket. Slightly slower ball from Adam Holyoke. Grayson working the ball into mid-wicket. Comfortably taken by Nick Knight.
Grayson goes for 10. Easily caught by Graham Thorpe off Adam Holyoke. The Surrey double act there. So there's still plenty of pressure for Essex. It looks as though Hussain's going to go now. Thorpe's the man there again. And twice in the over, batsmen are caught Thorpe, bowled Holyoke, and that's changed the picture dramatically and completely. Essex 6 down now for 184, and Nasser Hussain unable to complete the job which he himself set up. Skying the catch, Thorpe called for it early, took it easily. Essex lose Hussain for 82, they're now 184 for 6. He's out this time. A rather unattractive slog across the line from Ashley Cowan. He goes for naught, and Mark Elam and Adam Holyoke have transformed this match.
Good ball by Mark Elam, foolish length, straight. Ashley Cowan tried to finish the match in 1 ball. Umpire took his time giving him out, a long time to think about it, but very plumb.
Well, there was a deathly hush around the ground as Angus Fraser came charging in. Michael Holding thought it was out, and I didn't think Angus was going to get there, and he doesn't. Just falls short of him. He's in full flight, and he can't quite get there. Somewhat fortunate single, brings the 200 up. So pretty well fielded, but it's going to cost England a single. Throw was too good, it hit the stumps. Everyone that was backing up were deceived by it.
Good piece of work here by Graham Thorpe, because the batsman was a fair way out of his ground. Just got back in time, but it has cost England a run.
Now that's going to go for 4. Ian Austin Very rare occasion, bowling a length ball at the end, dragging it down a bit.
Last two deliveries have been length balls. Not too sure why he has changed his tactics, Ian Austin. And that was well hit.
Yeah, somewhere around about there. He's hit it straight to the fielder. He's hit the stumps, but he's going to call for the replay. Doesn't seem to be too much reaction from the fielders out there, Mikey. They probably think he might just have got home.
England fielders didn't look too convinced, but as we have seen on so many occasions before, Ian, things that we think are pretty safe don't usually turn out to be that safe. And again, we are seeing this that is absolutely out.
It's a good foot, isn't it? Stephen Peterson a little surprised by the decision, but we'll take our word for it. He's out by about a foot. Robert Croft receives the congratulations from his teammates. It's quite amazing, Mike, isn't it, how often the direct hit, batsmen, fielders, they all think they've made the ground or it's not out, and then sometimes, as in that case, it's 9 inches at least.
And we did see the umpire hesitating for a while to decide whether he wanted to call for the third umpire or not. England fielders didn't look too convinced that the batsman was out, but he's out by a long way.
Stephen Peters had to change a bit of direction to go round Adam Hollyoak. That might have cost him those valuable 9 to 12 inches. Mark Eilert. That's well hit. That's going to be 4 runs. It's over extra cover, low full toss. Now 16 from 9 deliveries.
A wicket down again for Essex, but they are still not out of it. This was a good shot. Just going over the head of that man at extra cover. We did see them pushing right back onto the 30-yard circle before. Perhaps if he was back there, would have had a chance.
And there's 4 more. Now, game on. 12 from 8 balls. And still 2 balls to go this over. And England then have to decide who'll bowl the last over. Well, the Flintoff or Hick, I would say. That's the wicket. Middle stump, straight and full. Mark Eilert went for the boundary. He missed. Binswell's hit. Triple double Nelson, 2-2-2. Mikey strikes again.
Well, that is what he should be doing at this stage of the game. All the bowlers should be looking to try to bowl as straight as they possibly can. You can see there that Binswell hasn't tried to swing the ball. He hasn't tried to do anything but bowl straight. He has held it across the seam, making sure that the ball goes exactly where he's directing it. Full, straight, you miss, I hit. That's the idea.
And they're running. And I'm not sure. Oh, Pascal Rivera's.
The ball went past him. Didn't seem all that interested in running. Was looking to see where the ball had gone. It had obviously gone through to the wicketkeeper, and then he takes off. Well, Binswell had an ideal opportunity here. So did Graham Thorpe. And neither one of them took the ball.
Well, you feel this is the game now. Again, why they didn't go for the single, I don't know. Stewart decides to have a go at stumps. Such just gets back. And the captain decides he'll have a go at the other end as well. One, maybe 2, but it's not going to be the 6th that's needed. And England can win this game by 3 runs. Now, what's going on here? No ball has been signalled. We didn't spot it. Well, what a time to bowl a no ball. Well, it's not a no ball. Unless, of course, it's been called for England not having the fielders. It's not that. The full toss is not above waist high. So we can only presume it was given for the front foot. Well, now this makes it interesting. I'll work this out. There was 2 runs plus the no ball. So 3 off that ball. So it means 3 to win now. It gets very complicated in these one-dayers. Peter Such has got the strike again. He's hit it. Gets straight to Ian Austin, and Ian Austin just leisurely lobs it into Alex Stewart. England win by 2 runs. 228 for 9. But Essex needed 2 to win, so England effectively win by 1 run.
Well, that, as the Duke of Wellington famously once said about the Battle of Waterloo, was a damn close run thing. 228. And very, very, very nearly embarrassing. Those were the bowlers. Mark Elam 4 for 39, the man who pulled everything out of the fire. Hollyoake was pretty expensive, 7 overs for 44, but at least he picked up 2. Poor old Vinnie Wells. Come and have a bowl, Vinnie. Only 1 over to bowl. They only need 10. You'll be all right. He was just. And here is confirmation of it. England winning by 1 run. 229 for 7, played 228 for 9.